Hey, welcome to another video. So with the ASAJJ VENTRESS retcon, I decided to cover the Dark Disciple book, which goes into how she died and how she got really close to Quinlan Vos. But before I begin, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, let's jump straight into it. So the Jedi Council gets led by Mace Windu to try and assassinate Dooku to end the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi suggests Quinlan Vos for the task, despite being against the decision. So, meanwhile, Master Vos, disguised as Tal, along with the Marin Jedi Knight Akar Deshu, foils a black market operation in Otor's hub, run by the Korrivar merchant Sheb Valad. While returning to Coruscant, they receive news of a separatist attack on Maureen, and a message from Kenobi requesting that Vos attend a meeting with the Jedi Council. At the meeting, the Jedi Council briefs Quinlan about their plans to assassinate Dooku. Vos accepts the mission, but insists that a companion accompany him. Master Yoda recommends the Night Sister and failed Sith apprentice, ASAJJ VENTRESS, as Vos's partner. In the end, Vos reluctantly agrees to the mission, and promises to get in touch with VENTRESS. Following the meeting, Vos travels down to Coruscant's level 1313 to inquire about VENTRESS's whereabouts. At a bar, the undercover Jedi meets several bounty hunters who were acquainted with VENTRESS, including the Trandoshan Bosk and the late Jango Fett's son Boba Fett. Fett reveals that VENTRESS took a job on the planet Pantora, chasing down a Volpi fugitive. Using this information, Vos travels to Pantora, where he stumbles upon VENTRESS's hunt. Due to Quinlan's arrival, Morgie managed to escape. After a tense reunion, Vos and VENTRESS joined forces to capture Morgie. Later, Vos meets up with VENTRESS in her starship, Banshee. There, undercover Jedi poses as a wannabe bounty hunter, who is interested in partnering with her, believing that Vos has potential to become a bounty hunter, despite his irritating behavior. VENTRESS reluctantly agrees to accept him as her partner. Vos spends the next 2 weeks aboard VENTRESS's ship, training and conducting several hunts together, usually involving underworld contracts and outlaw targets. On one occasion, Vos saves VENTRESS's life by using the Force to knock the blaster out of the Weequay target's hand, allowing VENTRESS to finish him off. On their 5th hunt together, the two bounty hunters work together to capture the estranged former first mate of the Bloodborne's Order Captain Lassa Rame. VENTRESS manages to bait the fugitive using her feminine charm. As part of their payment, Rame gives them a bottle of Tevraki whiskey, which the two hunters enjoy together. While drinking, Vos tries to prod VENTRESS with information about her training, but she remains tight-lipped. The two hunters begin to develop feelings for each other, though unready to admit it to each other or even themselves. Later, when VENTRESS visits Coruscant's 1313 to make modifications to the Banshee, Quinlan takes the opportunity to meet up with Obi-Wan to discuss the progress of their mission. Since Vos has established a rapport with VENTRESS, Kenobi urges his fellow Jedi to find a way to motivate her against Dooku. While on Coruscant, VENTRESS accepts a job from the Pike Syndicate, a powerful cartel of drug runners and spice dealers, which is based on the rocky planet of Obadiah. The Pike Syndicate boss, Marg Krim, takes the two bounty hunters while rescuing his wife, Teska Krim, and their two children, Lali and Vram, who had been kidnapped by the rival Black Sun crime syndicate. The Black Sun is holding his family prisoner at their fortress on the volcanic world of Mustafar. Traveling to Mustafar, they rent 2 lava fleas and visit a bar called The Last Resort. There, they accost a fallen Black Sun guard and force him to divulge information about the Pike hostages. The two hunters manage to infiltrate the Black Sun fortress through an exposed balcony outcropping. They manage to rescue Krim's 2 children, but are unable to find their mother. Pursued by the Black Sun sentries, the two hunters and the children escape on their lava fleas through the lava flow, while VENTRESS and Lali manage to jump off their lava flea mount. A blaster bolt hits Quinlan's back, causing Vram to lose his grip and fall to the lava flow. However, the undercover Jedi uses his force powers to levitate the boy to safety. After returning to the Banshee, the two bounty hunters formulate a plan to rescue Teska, while Ventress treats Voss's blaster wound. Using his psychometry powers, Voss touches Lali's locket and discovers that her mother, Teska, is still in the fortress and a prisoner of the Black Sun leader, Zeton Moj himself. While Ventress enters the fortress disguised as the negotiator, Voss manages to free Teska from her cell. Following a struggle with Moj and his men, the two hunters manage to escape Mustafar on the Banshee with Krim's family. After returning to Obadiah, Marge Krim rewards Ventress with double pay. As they depart the planet, the two hunters witness a Black Sun fleet exiting hyperspace to settle scores with the Pike Syndicate. Unable to help the Pikes, Voss and Ventress have little choice but to flee into hyperspace. Burdened with the guilt of being unable to protect Krim's family, Quinlan Voss reveals that he is a Jedi Knight to ASAJJ Ventress. However, Ventress is already aware of it, since she has witnessed him using the Force to save himself and Vram during their earlier escape on Mustafar. Voss also tells Ventress that the Jedi Council had sent him to kill Dooku, and also wants him to enlist Ventress's support. Having come to respect Voss and seeing an opportunity to strike back against her former master, ASAJJ Ventress agrees to help, but warns Quinlan that assassinating the Separatist leader would not be possible without tapping into the dark side. Later, Quinlan informs Kenobi of the new development in their assassination plot. However, Kenobi cautions his fellow Jedi to be wary of Ventress's manipulative nature. Still, he insists that he can trust her, at least for the moment. To begin Voss's training in the dark side, Ventress takes him to her adopted homeworld of Dathomir, a planet that is strong in the dark side. While in Ventress's company, Voss learns about her background, including her enslavement, her apprenticeship to the stranded Jedi Knight Kai Narek, her subsequent apprenticeship, her falling out with Count Dooku, and the loss of her Night Sister comrades. During his discipline, Voss develops a romantic relationship with Ventress, but struggles to fully embrace the dark side. In an effort to drive Quinlan closer to the dark side, Ventress claims that Dooku had murdered his late master Thalm, when in reality, she had been the real culprit. Under the tutelage of Ventress, Quinlan goes under a rigorous training regime designed to expose him to Night Sister culture, while simultaneously boosting his strength, endurance, fighting spirit, and force powers. Later, Ventress receives word from one of her informants, the Gosam Sumden, that Dooku is planning to visit Raxus Secundus, a planet in the Tyon Homogeny, the capital of the Separatist movement. As part of his final trial, Voss had to kill the Sleeper, a near-extinct crustacean creature that inhabits a series of pools near the former Night Sister village. Despite his initial hesitance, Voss manages to kill the Sleeper and passes the trial, completing his darkside training. After Voss fails to meet up with their prearranged level 1313 bar, Kenobi meets with Yoda to discuss his fear that something wrong has happened to Quinlan. Yoda assures Kenobi that Voss has undergone many undercover missions and knows what he is doing. He also points out that sometimes it's necessary for one to tread through a dark path in order to better appreciate the light side. Meanwhile, Ventress and Voss travel to Raxus Secundus, where they meet up with her informant Sumden. Voss is horrified when ASAJJ kills Sumden, in order to prevent any secrets from leaking about their mission. The two hunters then make their way to a large public square, where Count Dooku gives a patriotic speech to a large crowd. The Count is accompanied by a Separatist military commander, General Grievous. After the speech, the two part company while attending a large public feast. Ventress takes the opportunity to sneak up on her estranged former master Dooku, who is mingling in the crowds. Unwilling to cause a public disturbance, she challenges Dooku to meet her on the Overlook for a fair fight later that night. Dooku agrees, and they split up. In secret, however, Dooku secretly contracts General Grievous and instructs him to meet on the Overlook with reinforcements. Before Grievous can join the Count, Quinlan then attacks him and overpowers Grievous and his battle droids. At the Overlook, Ventress and Voss engage Dooku in a lightsaber duel. After Dooku manages to knock out Ventress by hurling her against a stone bench, Quinlan attacks the Sith Lord, who taunts him about his flirtation with the dark side. Following a fierce duel, Voss is defeated by Dooku, who incapacitates him with Force Lightning. Grievous arrives with droid reinforcements to apprehend the intruders, but ASAJJ manages to escape into the sewers. Meanwhile, Voss is taken prisoner by Dooku. In Separatist captivity, Quinlan is transported to Serrano. There, he's locked in a cell, where he is tortured by Count Dooku, who also intends to complete Voss's journey to the dark side. Back in the Jedi Temple, Voss's Jedi colleagues became worried about his safety, and feared that he had perished or strayed from the light side. Meanwhile, ASAJJ Ventress travels to Chalmun's spaceport on Tatooine, where she enlists the support of several bounty hunters, including Boba Fett, Bosk, Latz Razi, C-21 Highsinger, and Embo for a mission to rescue Quinlan. Back on Serrano, Dooku manages to turn Voss against Ventress by revealing a hologram showing that she had murdered his late master Thulm. Dooku's version of events is confirmed when Voss uses his psychometry abilities to touch Thulm's lightsaber. Shortly later, ASAJJ and her bounty hunters arrive on Serrano to rescue Quinlan Voss. As part of their plan, the bounty hunters stage a diversion by attacking Dooku's battle droids. Meanwhile, Ventress makes her way into Dooku's palace, where she encountered a vengeful Voss in his cell. Enraged at Ventress for lying about her role in his master's murder, Voss attacks the Night Sister with his lightsaber. Ventress then tries to reason with her former disciple by telling him not to let the dark side dominate him, and reminds him about their mission to kill Dooku. Unable to rescue Quinlan, Ventress is forced to retreat with her bounty hunter Confederates. As they leave, she catches a glimpse of Voss walking with Dooku, showing that he has indeed become Dooku's newest Sith apprentice. Distraught, Ventress travels back to Coruscant, where she informs Obi-Wan that Quinlan's fall to the dark side. The next few months, ASAJJ bides her time, taking on various bounty hunting jobs. Struggling to cope with Quinlan's rejection, Ventress turns to alcohol. Meanwhile, Voss becomes Dooku's new right-hand man in the Separatist hierarchy, and gains the nickname Admiral Enigma. At some point, ASAJJ is contacted by Quinlan's Jedi comrade Desh, who has been dispatched by Kenobi to bring her to a Jedi Council meeting to discuss the matter of rescuing Voss from the Separatists. The Jedi Council obtains intelligence that Admiral Enigma was last sighted on a Providence-class dreadnought. In return for recovering Quinlan, the Jedi offer to pardon her for her crimes against them and the Republic. The inclusion of ASAJJ is controversial among some of the Jedi, especially Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker. However, Obi-Wan and Yoda stand up for her. Ventress agrees to the deal and takes part in the rescue mission. Following a struggle with Dooku and his battle droids, Ventress and the Jedi rescue team manage to free Voss from his cell in the brig, where Ventress finds an emancipated and half-naked former Jedi hanging from a set of shackles. While Quinlan Voss's Jedi companions are relieved to rescue their comrade, Ventress sees Voss's eyes flash with fury and realizes that he has fully embraced the dark side. Ventress attempts to attack her former lover, but is restrained by Obi-Wan. After freeing Voss, Ventress and the Jedi escape the Separatist dreadnought aboard her starship Banshee. After returning to the Jedi Temple, Ventress is formally pardoned of her crimes by Yoda. However, this news is bittersweet for ASAJJ, since none of the Jedi believed that Voss had changed sides with the Separatists. Voss attempts to reconcile with Ventress, but she rebuffs him. Meanwhile, Anakin discusses his suspicions about Ventress with his secret wife Padme. Still suspicious of the former Darksider, he suggests that Ventress had seduced Voss to the dark side, and expresses skepticism that she was capable of showing love. While Quinlan Voss' Jedi comrades debate in private whether he has succumbed to the dark side, Voss and his Jedi comrades take part in a mission to steal medicine, weapons, food, and ship repair parts from a Separatist asteroid base. For this mission, Voss is accompanied by his friend Akar Deshu. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and the clone commander Cody. However, the Separatists have already booby-trapped the asteroid with explosives. Voss and his Jedi and Republic comrades manage to escape, but all the supplies are destroyed. Following the failed mission, Voss meets up with ASAJJ Ventress in a Coruscant bar, where he affirms his love for her, and forgives her for killing Master Tholm. He promises to formalize his relationship with her after helping the Jedi to destroy Count Dooku. Later, Quinlan takes part in a mission with Anakin, Kenobi, and Cody to destroy a Separatist listening post. However, upon arriving there, they discover that the station has already been abandoned. Meanwhile, Desh visits the site of the former Separatist asteroid base and discovers evidence that there is a traitor within the Jedi ranks, leaking information to the Separatists. Suspecting that these two incidents are no coincidence, Yoda arranges for a private meeting with Quinlan, and is able to sense that he has indeed fallen to the dark side. Yoda discusses his findings with his fellow members of the Jedi Council, who hatch a plan to test Voss's allegiance by sending him on a mission to kill Count Dooku. Kenobi is instructed to watch over Voss and execute him if his true loyalties are revealed. After receiving this assignment, Voss informs Ventress about his new mission to kill Count Dooku. After some arguing, Voss agrees to allow Ventress to accompany him. At the Jedi Council briefing, the Council agreed to allow ASAJJ to accompany Voss on the mission after she reveals that Dooku would be traveling to Christophsis on a Separatist dreadnought. Together, Voss and Ventress travel to the Christophsis, where they discover Dooku's dreadnought among the Separatist fleet. Meanwhile, Anakin and Kenobi tail Voss from a captured Separatist shuttle and manage to infiltrate Dooku's dreadnought. After boarding the dreadnought with the help of reprogrammed battle droids, the two Jedi witness Voss engaging Dooku in a lightsaber duel. However, Voss fails to kill the Count, and instead forces Dooku to lead him to his mysterious master, Darth Sidious. Realizing that their suspicions about Voss's loyalties have been confirmed, Anakin and Kenobi have little choice but to arrest Voss and Dooku. After capturing them both, Kenobi and Skywalker bring their prisoners to the Venator-class Star Destroyer Vigilance. Despite Commander Cody's best efforts to secure the prisoners, Voss tricks Desh into approaching him and steals his lightsaber. He then uses it to free himself and Dooku. During their escape, Voss kills his former friend Desh and the Chagrian Jedi Knight Cav Bayans. Voss and Dooku then escape with Ventress aboard the Banshee. Ventress attempts to land the Banshee on Dooku's dreadnought, but the Vigilance gives chase and succeeds in damaging the ship. As a result, ASAJJ is forced to crash land the Banshee on Christophsis. Kenobi, Skywalker, and several clone troopers probe the wreckage of the Banshee and deduce that the fugitives have survived. Meanwhile, Ventress, Voss, and the seriously wounded Dooku navigate across a crystal-covered landscape of Christophsis to reach a nearby Separatist base. Kenobi secretly contacts Ventress and informs the former Night Sister about Voss's fall. He also instructs her to convince Quinlan to surrender, or they will kill him. When Ventress confronts Voss about this revelation, he convinces her that he is close to completing his mission, but does not disclose its goal. Meanwhile, Windu orders Kenobi and Skywalker to execute both fugitives. Ventress, Voss, and Dooku finally arrive at the Separatist base built into a giant crystal pillar. There, they receive word that Darth Sidious wants to talk with his apprentice, Dooku. During the brief hologram conversation, Dooku pleads with his master to send a ship to Christophsis to evacuate him. However, Voss fails to learn Darth Sidious' true identity. Shortly later, the Separatist base is bombarded by Republic clone troopers and aggressive reconnaissance 170 fighters. Despite Windu's orders, Kenobi still insists on getting the fugitives out, unharmed. Despite Anakin's objections, the former master and apprentice venture into the Separatist base to find Voss and Dooku. During the Republic bombardment, Ventress is badly wounded by the artillery fire and falling debris. Voss helps his wounded lover up as they attempt to follow Dooku and complete his mission. Meanwhile, Anakin and Kenobi order a ceasefire in order to sneak into the fortress and to kill Dooku. Back in the fortress, ASAJJ confronts Quinlan about his fall to the dark side and his alignment with Dooku. After some hesitance, Voss confesses that all of this was true. Shortly later, Dooku attacks Voss with Force Lightning. However, in a selfless act of sacrifice, ASAJJ shoves Voss away and takes the full force of Dooku's attack. Dooku then attempts to goad Quinlan into killing him, but Voss refuses to give in to the dark side, and affirms that he is still a Jedi. While Voss reconciles with Ventress in her final moments, Dooku then takes the opportunity to escape. Following the events on Christophsis, Quinlan surrenders to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker to bring him back to Coruscant. There, in the presence of the Jedi Council, Voss confesses that he had embraced the dark side and joined Count Dooku in order to use Dooku to get to Darth Sidious, and then to eliminate both Sith Lords once and for all. He accepts responsibility for all the crimes and damage he had committed under Dooku's service, and for killing his 2 Jedi comrades, Desh and Bayons, as well as the clone troopers aboard the Vigilance. Voss also defends the late ASAJJ Ventress for bringing him back to the light, and giving her life to save him from Dooku. During the hearing, Kenobi speaks out that it was folly for the Jedi Council to have considered using the tactic of assassination to eliminate Count Dooku, since it only led one close to the dark side. He also defends Ventress as a friend of the Jedi. Following the proceedings, Voss is pardoned for his crimes against the Jedi and the Republic. Kenobi also accompanies Voss to Dathomir to bury Ventress. Together, the 2 Jedi lay the Night Sister to rest in a dark pool near the abandoned Night Sister village. As Ventress's body enters the waters, the pool turns green, and the voices of the spirits of the deceased Night Sisters are heard, all welcoming Ventress back. So this is basically everything that happened in the Dark Disciple book, so what'd you guys think? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to support the channel further. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.